Jide Ogunzowo, our data and information analyst, joins us this morning. Thank you for coming on again today. Well, this question of Cambridge Analytica coming up with those revelations and leading to people asking questions. Oh, well, wait a minute. Does that mean, did they have any bearing whatsoever on the outcome of elections and how people voted? You've been looking into it. What did you find?
Again, there are several ways we could look at this, but today there are three things we should really focus on related to what Cambridge Analytica talked about, because it's all about elections. And so today we should ask ourselves, will there be elections in Nigeria next year? Now the evidence shows, Chamberlain, that there will be no elections in this nation next year. Can I prove it? Yes.
Why?
Oh, I will get to it. Now the second is, rigging is now legal, and there's nothing INEC can do about it. Again, can I prove it? Yes. But perhaps let's talk about what is going on right now in Lagos, and that is the president is around, which makes us really focus on there are only three types of Nigerians. Looking at what the president said yesterday, looking at expectations about if an election will happen, which I believe there will be no election, which I'll prove, and it's to show that there are only three types of Nigerians. First is Nigerians that want the president to continue. The second, Nigerians that do not want the president to continue. And the third, Nigerians that don't care less, that are not bothered.
Are there no Nigerians who want third force?
Clearly, the third force guys will fall into the group that don't want the president to continue. But you talked about Cambridge Analytica and what they're doing. And it's because today we've got evidence from one of the world's greatest neuroscientists, Professor Antonio Damancio, that tells us that people do not vote based on rational thinking. In fact, he says that 95% of the decisions you and I make are based on emotions. And so, Chamberlain, if you wanted to be governor, for instance, and someone starts with you as an analyst and says, let's create a campaign strategy for you based on demographics, age, location of people, you are not likely to succeed based on today's evidence, because the evidence does show that people vote more based on how they feel, their emotions. Let's look at how these emotions connect to today's reality. And let me make it more specific. It's over 3.5 decades ago when President Buhari, when the fifth coup happened.
Okay.
Then Joshua Dongoyaro came on radio to make the announcement. And so we had to listen, every family had to listen to that broadcast in silos. You stayed at home, you listened to it. You stayed at home, you listened to it. Today, the president is in Lagos. How did you know about the severe traffic in Lagos yesterday? It wasn't based on radio. It was based on WhatsApp, a lot of viral message sharing. And so several years ago, the thinking was, and the fact was, what elections did was, it was the largest gathering of people. And so on election day, because everybody lives in silos, families come out to vote. An election happens. Today, why I say there will be no elections next year is because the elections are already going on. People are voting digitally, based on your likes, based on the people you follow, based on the information you share. And so the radio and families living in silos that used to be the largest gathering, or when on election day that people gathered the most, right now the largest gathering is happening online.
So are you saying that platforms like Facebook and all of that can change the direction of the vote?
Oh yes, because today more than half of the world are connected on the internet. Today, people are already voting digitally, by their comments, by their likes, by their shares. And when I say there will be no election next year, what I mean is, because people are voting digitally, the voting is already ongoing. What will happen next year is a declaration of the results, not really an election.
Does that actually also include the rural areas where you don't have as much online users as you have in the urban areas?
That even includes the rural areas, because a lot of the world is more connected. even if you don't have a smartphone, information from a smartphone user gets to you indirectly. Let's look at Facebook users currently in Nigeria. We've got 7.2 million active daily Facebook users every day.
Okay. All right, then, so tell us, how will 7.2 million Facebook users affect anything?
It's simple. It's simple. And it's because looking at the last presidential elections, President Muhammadu Buhari won with only a margin of 2.5 million votes. And so we clearly can see that if a strategy that significantly influences Facebook voters are also part of a community that will also disseminate information and influence people's opinion. And if you've got 7.2 million daily Facebook users, clearly they can influence the turnout of the elections. Because again, like I said, especially when we're looking at the 2019 election that we don't know who the candidates will be, but we are looking at scenarios whereby the margin of victory perhaps will be slimmer than 2.5 million votes that President Muhammadu Buhari got the last time. And when I said elections will not hold, and when I'm very categorical about that, what I mean is INEC, yes, will organize elections. Yes, people will come out to vote. Yes, it is expected that the elections will be organized to be free and fair. But what I really mean is that people already are voting based on the people they follow, their likes, their shares. They're expressing their opinion using this tablet, using their mobile phones. And so more than an election next year, what will be happening next year, February, will be a declaration of the results. Will be people coming to announce who they've been voting.
Even though those decisions have not been over and done with. It's still an ongoing process up until the last minute.
Exactly. So what is going on right now is voting is already ongoing. And we will now be counting the votes next year, unlike what it was years ago.
It sounds like you're giving the politicians strategies, new strategies to use.
Oh, well, there's more strategy. You know, I talked about rigging now being legal. And what do I mean by rigging being...
You sure the police will not come for you, but go ahead.
No, clearly ballot snatching, sharing of money is illegal. Oh, yes, it is. And we must resist it with every drop of blood in our body. But there's another type of rigging that is legal. That is electronic brainwashing. Being able to predict what you, Nyota, what you, Chamberlain, will do, what Ajuri and Markwe in Abuja will do. And I've been doing a bit of some algorithm, and I'll share that with you quickly. Let's look at Markwe, for instance. What the algorithm shows. Markwe comes to the studio every day in Abuja. The evidence does show Markwe loves to wear red. Oh, yes, she does. Out of 22 working days this month, she's worn red 14 times. And I'll explain why this is important. 63% of the time, Markwe wears red. If I were to be selling clothes, and there was another lady that wanted to compete with me, she comes to Markwe's house with a box of all sorts of colors of clothes. I wouldn't do that as my strategy. I'll bring in more red clothes than any other person. And so people will wonder, why does Markwe buy for me more often? It's because I know what she likes. Indeed, I know she doesn't even like to wear red on Fridays. The first Friday of this month, she didn't wear red. On the 9th, she didn't wear red. There's only one Friday she's worn red. Again, why is this information important to strategy? It's because even though on one hand, I know if I want to campaign to Markwe, I should bring red. The second is I know that even though she has a variety of red clothes, on Fridays, she often doesn't like to wear red. So on one bag, I'll sell her clothes that are red. And on another bag, I'll send her some clothes that I'll say, you know what, you can wear on Friday. In specific terms, she'll be making decisions not just based on what she does. It's because I'm brainwashing her. I already know what she likes. And so what the Facebook saga really does is it predicts what people want. For instance, Chamberlain, I know what you most likely wear on Monday. Nyota, I know most likely your closing statement today. And it's because of algorithms. And so today, even though rigging by ballot snatching is illegal, predictive algorithms allows politicians to know exactly what specific messages to give target markets. And Chamberlain, indeed, there are now only 3 ways for President Buhari to win based on predictive modeling. And there's only one way for him to lose.
Okay, we'll talk about that next time out. So, watch this space. Jide Gonzalo, thank you for coming on this morning. But that's the show today.
Kemi, which is our camera?
I think the algorithm knows that we're going to close by this time already. So, we'll see you guys next week. Have a happy holiday. I'm Chamberlain Usto.
I'm Neota Igwe, and good Mark, where I know wearing too much of red today.
Thank God for that. Thank God. Are you heading Cambridge Analytical branch here in Nigeria, Jide? But thank God, I'm not quite agree yourself.
Jide, if you're not careful, Trump will hire you for his re-election campaign. I'm a jury in Gilali.
Goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed by guests of this program are those of the maker and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, and endorsement of Channels Television.